you can pick any bubble and we can find who the stakeholder is that's related to that bubble and what you need to offer them in order to gain their participation. You see that?
Right, I get that.
Or several, you know. And so this is how you start to break it down. And this is why, again, you've got a lot here. So it's a lot, you know, to fill out the entire map, but that's why you start with your priorities. And, you know, if you do enough video, and that's the thing. So Angie and I, you know, we've done 3 of these sessions now. And what I've done with some of those sessions, as you saw in the meeting, is broken down the video into all of these, you know, micro clips, right? And so now we're cutting up the video and placing these clips on the pages that I showed you, just like the Ascended page I just showed you, the Abundancia page. So, you know, here's 1 3-minute clip that talks about certain things, and then here's another, you know, 5-minute clip, and then here's another 2-minute clip. So these are the ways that we're, you know, taking what you and I are talking about, or what you could be talking. You could have a whole conversation with Angie about the sacred temple, right? And then you can go through afterwards and cut all of that up and put it all on this page, arranged with all of these bubbles and all the clips and all of the content. And now you both have something that you can share with the world in terms of what you're doing with the sacred temple, right? And now you can start enrolling other people, you know, other stakeholders that are going to be a part of this sacred temple, because now you have a way to communicate it to them without you having to have 100 different conversations with 100 different people. You just send, you know, a link to 100 people and send them the page, and now you see which 5 of those people respond, and now you have somebody to work with to start to create it. You see how the process is like that?
Yeah, I get it.
And the thing is again, now that you've packaged it into these video clips, into these pages, now it's not just your network that you can package that and send that to, but if you can incentivize it enough, then Burge will send it to her, you know, people. Hey, does somebody know, you know, this is great. Who knows somebody that can fit these things? Or, you know, Paloma can, or Angie can. So again, and once we really make things inspiring, then it can go viral through the whole network, right? So Angie's like, oh, I want to send it to this person. Then Angie's people are like, oh, I want to send. And this, again, the more it's incentivized, the more chance it has to go viral, right? So again, we're creating the whole network to facilitate the potential for virality. And what you're doing is you're going from what your specific needs are all mapped out in a map like this, and then you're breaking it all down to where there's offers and incentives on the end of every one of these bubbles that gives you all of the stakeholders that you need to execute anything. And then again, as much as you narrow it down, again, let's go back to the herbal supplements. So let's say you just create a mind map for herbal supplements and you start mapping out all the pieces for that. And then you've got all the stakeholders identified for that. Well, now you've got all of the pieces you need to fill in to actually execute that whole vision. And as long as you're missing the venue, and as long as you're missing the products, and as long as you're missing the supplier, and as long as you're missing any one big piece, you know it's not going to happen. So you know that your job is to fill in a stakeholder at every one of those pieces to have a chance to even execute the project. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the process, and that's kind of like the reality to this, and that's why, again, I shared, you know, this, you know, really direct statement at the bottom here is, without agreements, your vision is a pipe dream. Because as long as you identify these stakeholders, but you're not actually creating agreements with them, then you just got, you know, big missing holes. You know, if you need all of these things fulfilled, or you can decide which one of these things are mission critical and which ones are just nice to haves. But once you pick the 7 mission critical things that need to be done, you know that if you don't have a stakeholder or a vendor or an employee or whoever it is showing up to fulfill that role, then you can't get the plan done, right? Because that role needs to be filled in order to get the plan done. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's super specific, real reality check. Like, if you really want this done, you've got to find one of every one of these things that you're identifying. And only once you do you have the chance to actually execute your whole plan.
Okay.
So that's it in a nutshell, is that, not only are we outlining it all, so it's all systematized, and you've got, you, like we just talked about, you're going to be able to create results quicker now because you can share this. You and Angie can work on common places. You can work on common parts of the mind map with Dylan. You guys can talk about what incentives you need to offer, all the different people and things that you need to do to bring a reality to identifying the stakeholders and making the offers and filling in the gaps. Now it'll happen more. Everyone will be sharing all of that. So that's the mechanism of it. And then, like you shared, very accurately the other day, people are limited in their leadership skills. They're limited in their communication skills. They're limited in their ability to form relationships with, potential stakeholders and have negotiations with them, and all of these kind of more advanced skills that need to happen in order to really facilitate all of this, right? And so that's where, again, people like Burge, people like, Paloma, people like Aaron, people like whoever, Angie, are all showing up. People like you are showing up also to support people in being more effective in their lives. And that will also be a big part of this, like we talked about at the beginning. So that's essentially where we're at as an organization right now, is helping people get very organized with this whole manifestation process in their life. So they're applying it to their priorities right now. And then simultaneously tapping into this pool of resources, like you said, that's helping them perform at a higher level, right? That's giving them not only the tools, but what they need to do to break through the procrastination or the overwhelm or the, whatever it is that is their pattern that holds them back from accomplishing all of this, right? Because you know very well that just because somebody has all the tools doesn't mean that they're going to use it, right? We've got all kinds of programs and things running in the background that prevent us from, achieving whatever it is that we vision for ourselves, right? So that's where it's such a critical part to help people pull those obstacles out so that they can actually, create the results that they're visioning in their heads. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it.
So that's like Uniting for Action in a nutshell right now.